Miss Victoria! I'll be going by tomorrow as well. Are you gonna be okay?
Tomorrow?
Yes! I'll be bringing Mom as well.
I don't mind her coming by, but Francis hasn't apologized to me about what happened the other day. So I'm really hoping that both you and Francis will actually consider what happened and take it seriously.
What? You're still talking about that from the other day?
I didn't want to bring it back up, but Minnie was injured from that. So I think it would be appropriate for you to apologize formally.
It's just something that happened between kids. Something is seriously wrong with you if you're going to be bothering them like that.
Francis literally injures Minnie. You're not going to stop them at all, right?
Look here, Victoria. As someone who grew up in a nice household like you probably wouldn't understand.
What do you mean by that?
My parents never got along. They eventually got a divorce, and I was raised by my mother. I don't get along with my brother. After I got married, I haven't even seen him. He doesn't have any kind of relationship with any of my relatives. So I seriously just want to point out how I'm just a super lonely person that's been cursed.
I see.
So I get really frustrated when a girl like Minnie, who lives with no difficulties and lives a happy life, gets annoyed and bothered. So I don't think it's right to get mad at Francis.
I don't really get that logic.
Besides, Martha really gets along with Minnie. Martha is the older sister. Martha really is a good girl. So I can really understand why Minnie would get along with her.
That doesn't really follow your logic from earlier.
I'm someone who needs to be pitied. You really don't understand that, do you? I was raised in a household with no blessings. You would never understand. Considering you were loved by your parents and you get along with your siblings, you would never get it.
I feel like you're changing the subject here. You and your household issues. And the fact that Francis injured Minnie are not really related to each other, are they?
I don't want Francis to have the same experience as me. So I've been working really hard. But no one notices how hard I've been working. And they don't realize how I've been trying to get all of my relatives to get along with each other even when I don't like you. But I want my mother-in-law to go by your house because I want her to be happy.
You drive someone who can't drive herself. So I really do appreciate that, but again, I feel like you're staying off subject.
It must be nice being you. You only see her every once in a while.
Huh? She seems like a great person. I don't see how that's a problem at all.
You just don't seem to understand what it's like to never be loved by your real mother. That's why I decided I would pour all my love and care into her. And that's why you should be kind and take care of Francis and I. What is that attitude? You really need to think twice. Just because she was injured a little bit, you are being too kind to Minnie. You should feel bad for Francis and I. You should really be nice to us.
What the hell are you talking about? Francis literally shoved Minnie off the top of the staircase. I don't think that's something to just shrug off. There was a cushion at the bottom, so she luckily didn't get any cuts and only bruises. But she still hit her head, and they had to run tests on her. You think that's something to just ignore and shrug off?
Are you having fun bullying me like that?
What?
Francis didn't mean anything by it. You really don't have to make a big deal out of it. You were yelling at Francis and getting in her face. If anything, I feel like you should be apologizing. Are you ready to apologize?
What are you smoking? Seriously? In that kind of situation, you really need to be teaching her a lesson and making sure she doesn't do that kind of thing again. Francis was crying.
How could you get that mad at a crying 4-year-old? Were you that angry? The only thing that crossed my mind is how you're seriously twisted in the head.
Excuse me? Okay, fine, whatever. Please don't ever contact me again. Huh? If you think that I made the wrong decision to scold your daughter, I want nothing to do with you. I don't want to deal with you either.
You don't have to put it that way. We're working so hard to try to get closer to you. You don't care about our happiness? You don't care about us? You don't feel bad for us at all?
I do feel a little bad for you. At least for Francis, anyway.
Well, what about me?
I don't care about you. You're about to be 40, and you're talking about how miserable and sad you are. I don't believe you, to be honest. And you live with your parents? Because you wanted to live with them. You didn't live with your family before, so you said you wanted to live with your parents to feel a parent's kindness. You convinced Mom, who wasn't really on board with it. You rebuilt their house into a duplex so that you could live however you wanted to live. How am I supposed to feel bad for you?
You don't have to say it like that. I don't feel an ounce of kindness from you. I don't have any freedom.
I'm not an idiot. You made Mom prepare all of the food. What are you talking about, living a tough life? And yet you have the audacity to sit here and pick and choose when they cook for you. And you leave behind food. I think you're actually the worst. That's why Frances always picks and chooses just like her mother.
That has nothing to do with you. You just don't understand.
What, because I grew up in a nice household? Was that your excuse? You always say that, so I'm starting to see a pattern. My father actually passed away when I was young, too. My father right now is actually a remarried dad. We had pretty tough times growing up, too, you know. There are no people in the world who are ever super happy all of the time. They just don't exist in the real world. So stop pretending you're this miserable little girl and ask for everyone to treat you like some kind of princess. It won't fly.
You don't have to put it like that. I'm the one that everyone needs to look after. I am the one who is most miserable. You just don't understand.
I don't want to understand. I feel bad for Minnie the most. She doesn't even realize what's going on. She just talks to her sister Martha, then Frances has to be jealous and shoves her off the top of the stairs. She has to be hurt.
It's because she took Francis's sister.
What? Martha's not Frances' sister.
Frances has known Martha long before Minnie has ever known her. But Minnie doesn't understand that at all.
Are you seriously asking a 2-year-old to understand social dynamics? Are you dumb? If you're not going to apologize, I'm going to be suing for damages.
Damages? when it's something that a kid did?
The parent is responsible for what the kids did. If that parent has no intention of apologizing, I don't think it can be helped at all. Also, I spoke to my husband and brother-in-law, only a little bit, but please don't come over to my house for a while. Actually, just don't ever come over at all.
What are you talking about? How could you say such a thing to me? I wanted to make my kid have the experience with her relatives that I could never have. Why are you getting in the way of my effort to let her have a fulfilling life? You just don't understand anything!
No, you don't understand. I don't care about your efforts. You injured my child. You didn't even apologize for it. Something is seriously wrong with you. Please don't talk to me anymore.
If I don't drive, then who's gonna take Mom to see Minnie and Martha? Are you gonna rob Mom of her experience with her grandchild?
I would rather that than my child be injured. Also, my husband is also a capable driver. It'll work out.
You really want to cut ties with me that badly?
Yes.
We were able to be siblings finally. Why would you say such a thing? I finally started to trust you as my sister-in-law.
A second ago, you clearly said you didn't like me. Also, when are you planning on telling your brother that Francis isn't going to kindergarten anymore?
Huh? You told him?
Yeah, I figured that he knew about it. You wouldn't believe the look on his face when I told him about it.
I don't believe it. Why would you do such a thing?
Frances always hits her friends at school, so she's disliked. And apparently you were warned by the other moms too. She doesn't want to go to kindergarten, so you don't make her go, right?
You make me suffer. For what? What pleasure do you get from this?
I just stated a fact is all. I'm sorry you're suffering. I feel worse for Minnie. She was suddenly abused for some reason. She's the real victim in all of this. If you think you're that miserable, how about you pretend to be the damsel in distress somewhere else? Please don't talk to us anymore. Goodbye. Nancy freaked out after that conversation and started throwing a tantrum around the house. Then she managed to injure her mom in the whole mess. Her husband realized the gravity of the situation. Her husband was warm and kind, so maybe Nancy was just being spoiled by that. Minnie was chased out of her parents' house. During the divorce meetings, Nancy was dissatisfied with the whole thing, so her husband had to take off work and go take care of Mom and Frances. Frances was apparently much happier as a result. The next time that Victoria met up with Frances and Minnie, she apologized like a good girl. Victoria had thought that if they just got a divorce like this, it would be better for Frances.
Mason, what are you doing right now?
What do you mean, what am I doing right now? Of course I'm working. I'm busy right now, so don't ask stupid questions.
I'm sorry about that. Are you busy today too?
Yeah, so I'll be home late today too.
Around what time will you come home?
I think around 9 p.m. or later than that.
What about dinner?
I won't be eating at home because eating out is more delicious.
Is that so? Well, you do eat out a lot lately.
Because your cooking tastes bad. It's better to throw that away. It's like eating garbage.
How could you say such a bad thing? You should at least think about how I feel.
Huh? What's that? You complaining? Emotional people are stupid. All you do is complain. You probably can only talk emotionally. You sound so pathetic.
I can't believe you could say such a thing.
There you go again, you're being emotional again. You should maintain your composure. I have a new project going on right now, so I'm very busy every day. I don't have time to go home.
Project? What kind of project?
I've been entrusted with a huge project. I'm putting my life into this.
Is that so?
That's why I don't have time to deal with your complaints. I'm supporting your livelihood, so at least show your gratitude to me.
What do you mean?
Like doing the household chores and showing your sincerity to me?
I think I'm doing household chores pretty well.
You still have a long way to go, you know. You should clean the house properly every day. Because that's your job. I'm making things easy for you as a housewife. So at least do that properly.
You're not making things easy for me. You only give me $100 per month. It's not even enough for just the food budget.
That's because you're bad at budgeting. A normal housewife will be able to do it better. You're not trying hard enough.
Only $100 for 2 people? It's like a YouTube challenge or something.
Don't be so ridiculous. This is why I don't like talking to women. Because women try to get into emotional arguments. You should think more logically. $100 is possible for 2 people in 1 month. So you should be able to do it too. Understood?
Then let me ask you a question. What is your work?
Huh? What are you saying?
Why did I receive a phone call from your office?
Huh?
You were absent from work without leave, right? Also, I heard that you didn't go to work lately. What's the meaning of this?
What are you talking about? Who told you that?
Your coworker told me. What is the meaning of this?
Stop being so emotional. You're being so stupid right now.
That's not the problem. You're not in your office. What in the world are you doing?
I'm working. Didn't I tell you earlier?
You're not in your office. Where are you working then?
It's a different matter from my office.
Different matter? What do you mean?
Now, don't be so emotional. I'm at the race course right now.
What?
Lately, I've been gambling to make money. It seems like I'm getting a little bit of interest now. Today's race was a miss, so I'll go play some slot machines to get my money back.
So does that mean that you've been getting off from work early without permission and going to work late because...
On days when units go in early in the morning and during days when there are races where I really need to go, I prioritize those. That's one of the rules and regulations of a gambler, you know? I'm not an emotional person. That's why I can calmly determine the chances of winning. That's why all those losses we've had all this time are not that much for me, you know? If I think of it as an investment for the future. This amount is not a huge loss for me.
How much did you lose?
That's not important right now, right?
Tell me honestly, how much did you lose?
Until now, it's around $10,000, I think? But it's not as huge as you thought, right?
Are you stupid? It's a very huge amount. You only hand me $100 per month, the amount that you give me for expenses. You lost 10 years worth of that.
Calm down. Those who become emotional.
Are you stupid? You're not even stupid. Only $100 per month for 2 people? That's a very unreasonable amount. I had to use up my savings to do something about our living situation, but you used up everything on slot machines?
It's only slot machines. I also use the money on race courses. Don't misunderstand me.
I don't care which it is. You wanted me to do the chores, so you begged me to be a housewife, but when I become a housewife, you only give me $100 for living expenses every month. How do you expect me to use that amount?
That's because your efforts are...
I already heard you say that earlier. If it's something that can't be solved by effort, I wouldn't be complaining this much. I can't do this anymore. Let's get a divorce.
Huh? That's impossible. Who will be supporting my life without you?
What do you mean?
From now on, I will be living as a spot machine professional. And I'm thinking of quitting my job soon. So I think it will be difficult at first. That's why during that time, I will ask you to support me. That's how a wife and husband should be, right?
How could you depend on me as your wife like that? I mean, about the $10,000 that you lost. What did you do about that? With only your salary, you can't afford that much, right?
Don't worry about it. I just borrowed it for a while. If I win today, I can return the money today. No worries at all.
No worries at all. Don't tell me you borrowed money from your work.
Don't worry about it, because I'm doing well.
You used the money from work without asking permission?
I don't say it like that. I just borrowed a bit. I will properly return what I borrowed, so don't worry about it.
How in the world are you going to return it?
I think I'll win today too, so it's fine. If I ever lose... How much savings do you have?
Are you planning to borrow money from me next? How much did you steal from work?
I told you, don't say it like I stole the money. I just borrowed about $10,000. I'm surprised I didn't find out. Well, if I return the money by the end of the month, I'm sure I can handle it.
I will call your workplace about this.
Huh? What are you saying? You're gonna sue your husband?
What you did is a crime. Your message earlier will be evidence, so...
Don't do something unnecessary! You've gotta be kidding me!
Didn't you say the people who get emotional are stupid? Aren't you being emotional right now?
That's not the problem. Don't do something that will get me in trouble. There's no need for you to tell my boss.
This is a crime, you know. I think you should probably return it right away. By the way, I will file for divorce. I'll be demanding alimony from you.
Alimony? What are you saying I did? I didn't have an affair or anything. And I don't agree with a divorce.
I showed evidence of all the moral harassment that you did to me, and consulted with a lawyer. I didn't know, however, that you were trying to be a gambler, and that you were skipping work. Since you've been coming home late these days, I thought... But I was thinking that I could have gotten more alimony if you were having an affair. But it looks like I can take alimony from you for the moral harassment, so I'll demand alimony from you for that, okay?
Alimony? Is it around $100 or $200?
Of course not, that's way too low.
All I have right now is $50. That too seems to be gone soon, though.
Unbelievable. I can't believe that that's all you have for a 33-year-old office worker.
I would appreciate it if you gave me some instead. Will you please think to rethink the divorce? I wasn't a very bad husband, right? Kelly, let's get along well.
Disgusting. I've been putting up with you for a year now, but it looks like I was just being stubborn. I don't love you at all anymore.
Please don't say that. Let's make up.
You embezzled money from your company and you used that money to gamble. How do you expect me to believe such a gambler?
Anyway, please don't tell my boss about it, because I'll get in huge trouble if you do. If I get back the amount that I lost gambling, I'll go home, so please, let's talk about this face to face. That's okay, right?
Of course not. We have nothing to talk about. Do you really gamble during the day? By the way, I already reported what you did to your boss, so instead of coming home, you should probably go to your workplace and explain things to your boss.
What? Did you really tell my boss about it? I'm screwed!
The police might get involved with that, so you should probably go to your boss before he reports you to the cops.
Why did you do that without telling me first? I'll go home now. I won't forgive you for what you did.
I'm not at home anymore.
What? Did you leave already?
Yes.
You've got to be kidding me!
You always told me that those who become emotional are stupid. I was able to keep my cool and act calmly. Place the divorce registration form on the table. So for the rest, you can contact me through my lawyer. Don't act any dumber than you already did. Then, of course, after the company investigated Mason, he was fired. When Mason's parents heard about what had happened, they returned the money as soon as possible and begged not to make it a criminal case. As for the alimony paid to Kelly, Mason borrowed money from his parents and paid. He couldn't pay rent anymore, so he went back to his parents' home. Not learning from his lesson, he tried to gamble again, but his parents finally had enough of his behavior. So he was sent to work at a faraway fishing village where his relatives are, and rumors say that he's being forced to help with some sort of dangerous fishing activity. I hope that he can pay his debt off as soon as possible.